Okay, you horrible lot. I'm going to do some old school scalping just to get, I don't know, 5 pips, 10 pips maybe on the DAX. Why? Because we've been out in the sun, we've had our dinner, we've had a jolly old time of things. I made a few pennies sitting by the pool just to prove a point. So Popeye can go fuck himself senseless. And actually, that's a good idea. Do you want to have a drink? You thought I was going to say something else there, didn't you? Oh, dear me. See, that tired her out, boys and girls. Yeah, walking up and down the steps is no good for her. So, what did you just say? You want what?
I'm getting burnt.
All right, or getting burnt. Yeah, she's suffering at the minute. So I'm doing this while she's having a bit of a little siesta before we go out for an evening meal later on. It's currently 3:20 over here in Spain, so it'll be 2:20 for you guys. So I've got a bit of time on my hands, and I thought I'd just flip this over and we'll have a look. So, old school scalping. You still have to do your analysis, guys, whether you like it or not. So, take it to scratch so you can get an understanding of what the market is. So what would we say here is happening on a monthly? Well, I'd say it's going up, all right? Fine. What's happening here on a weekly? Well, I would say that there's weakness in the market. Why is that? Well, I've got a MACD that's closing in on itself. I've got a collapsing momentum going the other way, and the bottom part of the Bollinger Band has collapsed in. So if it's going up, it's run out of steam. So what's the decider? It's this one. Well, that one tells me it's going down just by looking at it. You know, I've got MACD going down. I've got serious momentum shoving down. I've got bigger red candles than I do green candles, and I have a Bollinger Band that's closed in. So I would say the general consensus of the market on a bigger picture is down. Right, take it into 4 hours. What have I got here? Right, okay, that was a little bit of a difference. General direction is up, but it looks like it's in some form of a pullback. Where's that pullback to? Well, it's bouncing off the moving average on a compressed Bollinger Band. So we know that's an issue. Why would it have pulled up? Well, it gapped up on Sunday night, which it did. It's filled the gap and it's now pushing back up. And then we have this here. Now, one thing I want to pay attention to is where the pivot is on this. Well, the pivot is actually down. There. Bouncing off. Hasn't got above that moving average on the 4 hours. So here, it could be anybody's game. But if I was looking at it, I would just say it's neutral going into a range. Take it down into an hour so I can see what the situation really is. Well, here, well, yes, I would still say this is in a range and it is a downward push. Last clear cross was here, and we've got a bit of indecision here. Take it up to there. What have we got? Well, that is clearly up. And then take it into 5 minutes so I can see what's going on. Yeah, it's a general push up, but momentum slowed down. Okay, so what do you take from that? Well, there's a number of things you can take from it. You can see that the market's all over the place because there's no clear directions. But I will always go with the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is telling you to sell this thing. So, what do we do? Well, the first thing I'll do is I'll put some daddy levels in. All right, so switch these indicators off. And I'm going to have a little look to see what's going on the daily. Well, there's Monday, Sunday. There are the levels. Okay, so you've got a level here. Just going to put this in black. And you've got a level underneath. And then you want the high, or the opening and the close rather. Open, close, and then you want the middle. Just like so. This one is going to be hypothetical. All right, what if it breaks through? What we're going to do then? Well, we're going to look at what the expansions are of the high and the low of Friday. So let's get a little tool. And it's going to be there. And there. So that's that done. Super duper. Turn it round. Back up. And we're going to do the same. So it's been up, respected the 127 and rejected it. Okay. Right. We'll take it a little step further now though, because the fibs are important. I want to see what's going on with this particular market. Now if I pull this out here, there's not a lot you can look in. Take it down into weekly, there's not a lot you can look in. Take it into daily, what have we got? Well, we do have this particular move here. Okay, so what we're going to do is it started here and it got up as high as there. Well, what a fucking shock. It started to pull out those exact levels that I've just put in. This is why everything is connected. Okay, follow this down all the way in. So every single one of these levels is now relevant. And that's all I want. Relevant points of attraction. Right. So I can see exactly what's going on with that. Take this down into the hour so I can now plan out what I think might be going on. There's the biggest move that I can see. Started up there, came down to here, pushed down and is now shot away. Right, why this particular move? Well, if we look at it, why not? So I'm going to draw in a retracement upside down, just so that I can get the expansions on. Right, so we only really need to go to there. Blue. Drop these in all the way. Right, we're at a key point now. '50s highlighted yet again. Key pivot. Right, excellent. All right. See what's going on. Bing bang boo. It's all marked in. Right, what are the key rules of a scalp? If it stays below the 50, it'll look to go lower. Well, bang bang bang. It's tried, failed, pushed. It's pushing back against this particular move, which is what I'm going to look at for entries. 15 minutes down. See what the score is. There's the solid move. Up, down, push. Looks like it might probably be failing in and around this area. I am now going to just drop a fib onto that. And then I'm just going to see what this criteria is. Well, it's come up, stalled bang on the 50, pushed up the 61, seems to be struggling in and around this area. What do our indicators have to say? Well, it's pushing up. I would say probably up there is a good place to start selling. So what I would do is I would put an order underneath here on that 50 and I'll follow the green 15-minute candles up and then catch the slam coming the opposite direction. That is a full trade makeup based on chart reading, not following indicators. Okay, you follow indicators, well, you're probably going to be having a pretty hard time of things. So let's put that into place. Okay, do I think this is nice? Let's have a quick look. See some chittery chattery. I did do oil this morning. It did pretty much what I said it would do, and I was also doing pound JPY. Just did a little bit with it earlier on. There you go. So I'm not really going to be gunning hard at this particular trade. If I get 50 quid out of it, I'll be happy. To be honest, if I got 26 quid out of it, I'll be happy, because then I would have a straight 400 quid for the day. That's not bad, is it? Live with that. 400 quid. Can you live with that? Let's just push this down. Okay, let's have a little look. Drop an order in, put a sell on. Yeah, we'll just stick a fiver in, I think. It's not end of the world stuff. Put it at the base of that current candle. Bosh. So what we're doing here, I don't really need the indicators anymore, so switch them off. Switch them off. Okay. Now what we can also do, I'll switch them back on again. What we can also do, if I just pull this back, if you look, you can't really do a candle count on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because of what's going on, which is why, sorry, I dropped this down to 5 minutes, but the principle is the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is down there. Okay, so it's a fully move up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down under this is brilliant. Take it on to 15 minutes, you can't count them. Okay, got to do it on 5 minutes. So it's been a long day, so you've got to forgive me, but that, let it come back in, pick that order up and down onto there. Watch this on a 15-minute chart and you're good. All right, so let's play this out while I do a little bit of work on what I did earlier on this morning. Hold on, this might actually, is this going to push in? No, bugger. I was hoping that it might, but it's not. So, oh dear, what a pity. Never mind. All right, so. Okay guys, there we go. Job's done. Old school chart reading. Looked the way through it. Did its job, did its job, did its job. Why? Because it took time to read the chart. I didn't fanny on looking at the indicators, praying to God that I might get it right. I worked it out. Look where it started. Bang on the levels we put in. Where's it stalling? Bang on the key levels we put in. Work between the 2 points and it pays me quite handsomely. Now that is trading, guys. And that is why I'm consistent, because I constantly look at what it is that I'm doing. Now from here, I can't really make this any simpler. That was a full breakdown, full scalp. It weren't luck, because you see me do it day in, day out. What it is just trade management. That's it. That's all it is. It's just trade management. Bish bash bosh, job's done. And now I'm going to go off and enjoy the sun. So hope that one helps you. Who knows? Maybe it might give you a little bit of a light bulb moment. Catch you soon.